All right, thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody, for staying up late with us. Obviously, not our night, and credit Nebraska. They played incredibly well. We're able to execute their option plays in the first half that kind of snowballed, and I don't think we fit it right very many times. And so that starts with us as a staff, and we'll work hard to get that corrected. Obviously, quite a few guys that got banged up, and so we'll need the bye to get healthy and go from there. But credit Nebraska. They obviously had a great game plan. They executed it very well. And, we're not where we want to be. And as I told the guys after the game, when we land at O'Hare tonight, this game is over and we're moving on. And sometimes it's just not your night, and tonight was not our night. So really disappointed, but a lot of things that we have to fix first and foremost as coaches. And then we got to present a great plan to our guys. We got to practice our tails off. We got to dig ourselves out of this hole. So that's the plan. So I'll answer any and all your questions. Thanks again for being up with us tonight.
First question, John Riker.
Hey, Coach. Appreciate you being here and talking to us tonight. Ryan Malinsky, he kind of came out firing, kind of in contrast to last week's kind of more Russian-oriented attack. Was that kind of in the game plan, kind of using the passing game to attack the Nebraska defense, and how do you feel like that fared?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like we had to have balance, and we felt like we had some things that we could take advantage of in our passing game. At times we were able to do that, and then obviously at times we were not. And so, I'm proud of Ryan. I thought he fought through. He took a lot of hits tonight. I thought he battled his tail off, and he's just gotta keep growing, keep working hard, and he will. And with that will come plays. But I thought some of our receivers made some good plays for us tonight.
Ben Chasen.
Hey, Coach. Tonight, the team allowed the most yards it ever has under your watch. Now 5 games through the tenure of a new defensive coordinator, what reason should Northwestern fans have to believe that these are just kind of growing pains and not signs of deeper systemic failure?
Well, because we didn't play very well. I don't blame them for being upset, but nobody's more upset than I am. So, we didn't stop triple option today. They ran a split flow option play that they had shown that we had practiced, but they ran it a little bit differently, and then we didn't fit it when we adjusted it properly. So we've got to get that corrected as coaches. That's on us. But to answer it directly, ultimately I'm the guy who's responsible for the way we play. I've got great confidence in our defensive staff and our defensive players, and we've just got to get them going. Prior to this, we had 6 straight shutout quarters, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? So, obviously tonight was not our night.
Coop Daly.
Yeah, hi, Coach. I'm kind of just touching off what Ben said. It's also the second most points you ever given up. It's a big difference in the bend, don't break mentality that you guys, how do you just go into the next 2 weeks, and what do you tell these guys as they try to respond to this into the bye?
Well, number 1, we got to give them a better plan. Number 2, we got to practice well. 3, we got to execute the game plan. 4, we got to adjust. 5, we got to keep the ball inside and in front. Can't give up explosive plays. And then we got to adjust as they adjust. So it's really that simplistic. It's kind of how you go about it.
Drew Schott.
Hey, Coach. 2 weeks ago against Duke, you talked about how slow starts will not lead to wins consistently on the road. And today in Lincoln, we kind of saw a slow start. And even since the game didn't go your way, kind of what do you think have been the root causes of those slow starts, and going to the rest of the Big Ten season? What do you think your team's going to do to help combat that?
Yeah. I mean, we had an opportunity to make a big play in the first play of the game, right? And on defense, and they made the play and we didn't, right? And I think that, kind of snowballed a little bit from there. So that it would start there with number 1, and then, some self-inflicted wounds a little bit offensively. But, we got it to a 2-score game, and then, we obviously gave up another quick one. We moved the ball well down the field, and then we turned it over in the scoring zone that, again, would have made it a 2-score game. So, we've kind of been a little Jekyll and Hyde. We've started fast in a couple games and we haven't in others, and we've got to get that consistently fixed to be a consistent winning team.
Patrick Andres.
Hey, Coach. So tonight you give up 434 yards on the ground, and I guess it's been a little bit this season against Michigan State, and gave up 300 yards on the ground. At last week, you're able to find some success. I guess what does your unit need to do going forward to find more consistent success against the run?
It starts with us as coaches. Schematically, we'll look at it on the plane going home. We thought we knew exactly what they were doing. And obviously we didn't do a good enough job coaching it and teaching it and adjusting it in game to be able to take away the triple option to the boundary when they brought the tight end back. It looked like we were avoiding the tight end every time. And we just didn't have enough on the flank, and they attacked our boundary side. Now that's two teams that are really trying to major in attacking our boundary. And we've got to get some things shored up because we should be able to have enough hats over there. And obviously we were a guy short when you start talking about +1 runs running the triple option. So credit to Frosty. He did a great job tonight calling plays, and their guys did a terrific job executing it.
Will Carmen.
Hey, Coach. You kind of addressed it just now when talking about sort of the new wrinkle Nebraska added with the triple option. But in past weeks, you sort of talked about how, nothing that they were showing you wasn't on tape. You had prepared for it. How do you sort of feel, just that balance in terms of coming your games? Why do you think things you've seen on tape aren't necessarily easy for you guys to cover when you get to the game?
Again, I'll go back. We had 6 straight quarters of shutout football, guys. So we've played, we're like I said, we're Jekyll and Hyde a little bit. That's kind of why we're at where we're at 2 and 3, right? When we've been executing, we've played really at a high level defensively. And when we haven't, which we got to start with us, or we get putting too many things in our guys' minds, we're trying to make too many adjustments during the week. Like I said, they have put that on tape. We knew they were going to run that type of play, but we just could not get the thing stopped and fixed. And we tried to go to some different calls. We thought those were going to work. So we'll take a look at it. We'll try to get it adjusted and get it fixed.
Last question for Lawrence Price.
Hi, Coach. You just spoke about the run game, and just flipping it to the defensive or Nebraska's run game. Like you said, it just wasn't your night, and you just got to move on. So what's the point of emphasis that you and your coaching staff is going to focus on going into the bye week? I know you talked about it with Coop, just adjusting, and you just got to adjust the way you need to adjust. So could you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I'm going to give everybody off tomorrow. We were going to get together. I'm going to give everybody a chance to recharge emotionally and mentally and physically. We'll have a lot of treatment time. We'll get our young guys going on Monday and Tuesday, and then we're going to hit the road recruiting hard Monday and Tuesday as a coaching staff. Put together a game plan starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get ready for Rutgers and homecoming. And then we'll be out again on Friday next week as a coaching staff, and then give everybody Saturday off and then get back going into a normal game week. But during that, number one, we got to look at what we're doing fundamentally. To me, that's how you win football games consistently, is you execute fundamentally, block destruction. I'm talking defensively now, right? Block destruction, fitting gaps right, having the right communication to make sure we're all on the same page in the right spot at the right time. And then, just winning on plays by fundamental and technique, by tackling right, eyes in the right spot. There's a lot of things that we do every single day that we're not getting executed on a consistent basis. So you don't stop, right? You don't stop. You don't pout. You don't point fingers. You just stick together. You work your tail off together, and you come back fighting and find a way to go 1-0 in our next opportunity. So, I'm obviously very incredibly disappointed in our performance collectively as a team tonight. And we're going to work our tails off to improve and get back to winning ways when we get back home. So appreciate everybody covering us. Appreciate everybody being here tonight with us. And please have a safe week, safe trip home, whoever's with us. And we'll get back to work to get this thing back in the right direction. Thanks a lot. Go Cats.
Hey, Ryan, appreciate you being here. With so many guys kind of going down on the offensive line, how did you guys kind of deal with that, adjusted that, either in terms of how you guys are playing, the play calling, and just what does that do when the defense is able to kind of get through that?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, I just want to point out that, having all those guys that goes down just means that we fought till the end. And those guys are sacrificing their bodies for me, for the running backs. And it makes me proud, and it stinks, of course. But going back to your question, I think we believe in our backups. We believe in our second and third string guys. And we think they have every capability of doing what the first string guys can do. We're going to work some guys in this week. We're going to get some reps going, see what we can do from a game plan standpoint, just moving forward. But I have full confidence in each and one of those guys. So I don't think it really affects our game plan. It didn't really affect it there towards the end either.
Ben Chasen.
Hey Ryan, you had a lot of connection with Stefan tonight. Just kind of speak about how that connection has worked out in practice. Was that something you foresaw coming into this game? Was there something kind of in Nebraska's scheme when you were watching film that led you to believe you're going to be able to connect with them?
Yeah, I think it goes back to when I started talking to Steph to get him here, we talked all over summer before spring ball, really, and he asked about how the offense is looking, and I talked to him, and we had that connection going. We had FaceTimes going. And the dude's a baller. I mean, he gets open, he makes plays for you, so you want to get the ball in his hands. Same goes for Bryce Kurtz, same goes for Malik Washington, same goes for Ray Nairo, same goes for Marshall, same goes for Charlie, same goes for Jensen. Like all those guys are ballers. And I think it helps when they get the ball out of my hands and into their hands. But all those guys have worked their butts off during practice. My connections with them, we've watched film with each other after every practice to see what we can do schematically wise, where they're weak at, where they're not weak at, where we can hit holes. So we did a lot of good things, but we want more points on the board. That's all.
Will Carmen.
Ryan, you guys have had struggled throughout the year just in terms of closing drives. I guess, what do you think is the root of those issues, I guess, especially tonight? And then last question is just on the fumble at the goal line. Can you just sort of walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing on each drive. We like to move with tempo. We like to catch guys off guard on defense, and I think we just got to carry that into the red zone sometimes. Of course, we want to slow down because teams have different tendencies in the red zone, where their line of demarcation is at, stuff like that. So I think we just got to keep going, carrying our game plan into the red zone type of deal. And then red zone play, guy was coming off the edge at saw cover zero, read option. I'm trying to pull the ball from Evan. At the end of the day, it's my fault because I have the ball in my hands. I didn't get a firm enough grip to pull it, and I tried to pull it, and obviously we saw what happened.
Lawrence Price.
Hey, Ryan, you or Coach Fitz talked about how, you got to take this one step at a time, one game at a time. You just got to move on, put it in the past. So, you just talked about you guys didn't give up. And how do you move on, would you say, as the leader or at the helm at quarterback? And, of course, you guys didn't score in the second half. You did score in the first half. But how do you move on and work to get back in the win column, would you say?
I think the thing that we got to do right now is stick together. I think the biggest things that we're at a crossroad right now, and there's two ways this can go. This can go, we can have a miserable rest of the season, or we can have a great rest of the season and have a blast and win all the rest of our games. And I think the big thing that we want to do is stick together. We don't want to have any of that cancer comes in, because once that cancer comes in, it can kill a team from the inside out. And as an offensive leader, I think the biggest thing is that I wanted to show them tonight is that I never wanted to give up. I'll never give up on them, because that's just not what a Northwestern Wildcat is. That's just not what Coach Fitz teaches us to do. And we owe it to ourselves, especially this offseason, for working our butts off. These guys, I mean, man, this offseason is just, it's different. And we owe it to Coach Fitz. We owe it to our coaches. We owe it to our families. We owe it to each other. And that's just something that's not in our repertoire to quit. And that's just not what we're going to do. So I know the guys will respond, and I know we'll go into this week trying to get healthy. And we'll all, of course, eat this. We'll have our 24-hour rule, and then we'll all have smiles on our face, and we'll all keep going back to competing.
Last question for Ben Chasen.
Hey, Ryan, the team took a couple of measures this week to commemorate Mental Health Week. Obviously, just from your perspective, how much did that mean to you as someone who's gone through what you have?
Yeah, it means a lot, for sure. Especially coming into this offseason, Coach Fitz and this team has been really receptive. I'm very thankful to be in the position that I am, very thankful to have the family that I still do. And I'm very thankful that Coach Fitz has recognized Malinsky's hope. And of course, mental health, more importantly. This is about mental health. This is about people around the country, student athletes, getting the help that they need. And I'm very thankful for Coach Fitz. I'm very thankful for my teammates. Wearing the pins, wearing the stickers on the helmets, wearing the bracelets. They ask me for them all the time. So I'm thankful to be in a place like this because not a lot of people get these opportunities. And just I'm glad that it's now being talked about more. So thank you for asking that question. I appreciate it.
It's fun. Ryan just sort of talked about how you guys were talking throughout the offseason. He really helped pull you to the team in the offseason. And he said when you guys were talking throughout the offseason, you were asking how the offense was looking. Just what's it like for you when you're having such a good season individually that the team, the offense in specific, is struggling to put points on the board?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I came here to win. So, you know, although like I'm having some success individually on the field, you know, after the game, you know, you don't really think about it as much because we just lost the game, especially how we lost. So going forward, you know, we need to put it together and we want to put it together. So we just need to get things fixed, plain and simple.
John Riker.
Stefan, I appreciate you being here. When you have the offense with so many of those offensive linemen going during the game, kind of what challenge does that present to you? And then what did you see from the resilience of the backups coming in there and immediately like kind of next man up mentality?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. You know, you don't know what will happen on a certain play. You know, it's always next man up. So the second string, third string, you have to prepare, you know, like they're the starters. So, you know, I have confidence in whoever goes in that they're going to fill the spot and make sure everything goes as planned, you know, whether they're the starter or not.
Lawrence Price.
Hey, Stefan. My question was, or your teammate Ryan talked about it, and Coach Fitz talked about how, you know, you just got to move on to the next one. You've had a lot of college experience at the football level, so you know, just moving on to the next one, no matter what it is, the highs and lows. So could you talk about that? Of course, you guys didn't score in the second half. You and Ryan connected in the first half, but could you talk about moving on from this loss to the next game?
Yeah, it's something everybody talks about. It's called the 24-hour rule. You know, you give it 24 hours just to reflect and just to correct yourself. And then after that, you got to just let it go. Because if you don't, you let it carry you on throughout the week. And the next week, you know, carry on through each week of the season. So, you know, we're going to watch the film. We're going to talk about it. And then after we get through that, we got to put it behind us. You know, how tough this loss was. We just got to work forward and then keep moving on.
Hey, AJ. I guess going into this bye week, you being a leader on this defense that's been around for some success, what can you do to help refocus your unit after performance like today?
I think the first thing, honestly, that we need to do is when we all get home tonight, just take a look in the mirror and ask what we could have did personally. Like look at yourself in the mirror, saying, "What could I have done to win this rep?" Or just focus on your technique. But honestly, instead of pointing the finger and putting the blame and bringing all that negativity in, it's not something you need to do. It's something you point the finger at yourself first, see what you can get corrected, and then you go ask your teammates in a nice way, because all that negativity just brings the team down from the inside. But that's one of the first and most important things we obviously got to do.
John Riker.
Hey, AJ, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. I'm just kind of wondering, what did you kind of see on that first play? Looked like it was very close there to being a big turnover for you guys. And then kind of also just what does this team need to do, especially with big plays kind of playing such a key role so early in the season?
That first play, I'm gonna be honest, I thought we had an interception. Obviously, we just gotta probably change some technique things. I'm not saying anybody did wrong or anything. We just gotta win. You just gotta want to win more. And honestly, that's the biggest thing. I mean, they make good plays. It's football. Other teams are gonna make great plays. You just gotta make more good plays than them. And I applaud them for that, but that's something we can easily get corrected, and we just gotta win those plays.
True shot.
Hey, Jay. 2 weeks ago against Duke, Coach Fitz talked about the importance of kind of stopping these slow starts and that you can't win on the road when you have these slow starts. And kind of that kind of happened tonight. Going forward, how do you think your team's going to prevent these slow starts, both offensively and defensively, kind of going forward into the rest of the Big Ten schedule?
Honestly, we got to rely on ourselves, and we got to come out and take the fight to other teams. And also, it's just some things like he obviously just said before. We just got to limit the big plays. When big plays, obviously, you don't want it to drain your team, but they kind of do. And honestly, we just got to look at ourselves, and we got to be ready to just hit people in the mouth, because I mean, it's football. Big plays going to happen and stuff like that, but you got to learn how to rebound and think about the next one and not let it get caught up in your head and linger over into the next drive and the next drive.
Will Carmen.
Hey, AJ, what do you think so far is the biggest reason for the drop off from last year to this year, just with the defense?
Honestly, I don't think there's really any drop off. If we've been 100% honest, I think we just got to trust ourselves more and focus on our technique. Nobody's doing anything wrong. I mean, obviously people are doing things wrong, but we're not pointing the finger saying, oh, because he's going, we're not playing to our standard. No, that's on us. I'm like me first. I have to look myself in the eyes when I get home in the mirror, and I have to know what I'm gonna fix. And we have to play as a unit and play as a team. And there is no splitting up, trying to bring out negativity, saying, "Oh, he's the reason we're losing. He's the reason. Oh, we can't stop it." No. It's on. It starts with me. Starts with my teammates, and that's how we're gonna do it like that. We're not putting anybody else, trying to split anybody else up. Sorry.
Last question for Lawrence Price.
Hey AJ, I mean, you kind of already talked about it, and your teammate Stefan talked about the 24-hour rule, and just moving on. You gotta always move on, no matter the highs and lows, everything like that. So, could you talk about you being a leader of the team, even in the secondary, or one of the experienced guys? What are you going to talk to them about? Just moving on and going into this bye week to get back into the win column.
One, I told my teammates, first thing I said when we was in the locker room, I said, I love y'all boys. I wouldn't want to be in this situation with anybody else. It's not our first time we've been 2-3, and I'm not going to say it's probably not going to be our last time, but all I'm saying is that's one thing we have to focus on. And honestly, I told my teammates, I said, this is something that we can get fixed, and we can get fixed mainly. It's just techniques things, standing your gap, stuff like that. We're beating ourselves, and that's stuff that we can easily get corrected. And you just got to want to win. It's just that mindset of you want to win, you want to beat the other guy until he can't go no more. But I mean, that's really it. I mean,